Alright guys, welcome back to another Dark Monster video. Here's Kyle Chris, and bringing you guys a very special video here today. We actually have Jacob is confused, aka Jacob is cracked, aka Jacob is telepathic. This is the Jacob is confused from the Hermit style tournament. He ended up placing second. Funny enough, we actually go to the same locals together. So I've actually known Jacob for a few months here. How you doing, Jacob?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. And I really wanted to do this deck video with you. I'm very glad you chose to do it with me. Very honored for that. But this list that you played over the Hermit style, this was the underdog. Everyone was super excited to see you play this leader. And what did you play actually?
I played Stormfist Krillin.
Good old Krillin.
Our hero.
This was great, man. We were enjoying this in the chat. So let's how about you take us through the deck, what you played, and kind of your experience with it.
All right, let's go. All right, so first off, Krillin leader. On his front side, you have to swing at the lead, and when you do, you choose one card in your life. If you added a card, you get to draw also. His awaken, 4 or less life, and you choose one of your energy, switch it to active mode, and flip it over.
All right, so very Gohan Icarus-esque almost, if you will.
Yeah, a very weak awaken, but I just wanted to play this card once I saw this leader, so it didn't matter if it was weak or not. I wanted to find something that worked okay with him, and
right.
I think I did.
Yeah, definitely think so.
All right, so on the way is definitely where it's like the blue Icarus. So when he swings, he draws a card. And then at the end of your turn, you draw a card as well. He has an activate main once per turn. You can choose one card in your hand and place it in your drop area. And if you do, he gains 5k and crit for the turn.
Yeah, this is very, I mean, yeah, obviously this is very Icarus-like, being able to draw two cards per turn. With the crit effect, how often did you do that? Did you feel like it came up a lot? Like, what did you really, like, utilize that crit effect?
So, I was experimenting a little bit, and it felt like with slower decks that I was able to use that more.
Okay.
I'd like to do it to try to get them to use negates earlier if I could, and then swing with bigger stuff. But with more aggro-like decks where I had to protect myself more, I didn't feel it was safe to be dropping too many cards. So
right.
I would just keep them.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay.
Alrighty, let's start getting into some of the cards. So, since this is blue, I of course have to have the Galactic Buster package.
Yeah.
I've gone with 3. One big reason is I've only gotten 3, so
that's something. Yeah.
It works out perfectly though, because I don't think I would run 4. I think they would get clogged up in the hand.
I agree.
I did run into a couple times where I did not see them, but I think it'd be better than having them just sitting there.
Right.
One important thing is, during my turn, if I were to Galactic Buster, it does not go back into my energy. So it's important if you do it on offense that you're either going all in or you have some kind of way to recover.
That is very important, because I've actually, since I don't play blue, I don't think I've actually read the card in full, so I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, so it only goes into your energy on your opponent's turn.
Gotcha.
The other part is, since the autos are pending and you get to resolve them in whatever order you want, if you had 2 energy open and you were to use something like the 4-drop, where at the end of a battle after he's been comboed, you can pay 2. So you pay 2, you play him. Galactic Buster says that at the end of the battle you have to tap one of your energy. So if you've tapped all your energy playing him, you don't have to tap anything for the Galactic Buster.
Makes sense. Yep. And then that nasty 4-drop there.
Yep. He's great. Dual attack 20k. When he's played, he bottom decks one of your opponent's cards. Very straightforward, and it's very effective.
Did that card come up often in your run?
Yes, I use this one a lot. Only having 3, I definitely saw them when I needed them for the most part. Sometimes I would just combo with them from my hand, and I would Sensu Bean to get it out if I felt there's a big enough threat early on. I'm still new to the game, so trying to determine that has been something I've been learning a lot. So it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely is. But I mean, you seem to pilot the deck very well. So I don't think it really, at least from what we saw, obviously we couldn't see all of your games, but you seem to have done very well with it. So
yeah, going against the Toa deck, he had scared me the day before, so I was kind of afraid to play this one because of the red. Was it Gohan counterplay?
Oh, the Bardock guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you played him the day before, so...
Correct. He 2-0'd me the day before.
Oh, wow, okay. So that's why I know everyone in the chat was like, oh, he's not playing Galactic Buster, and obviously we didn't know that story, so that's actually pretty interesting. So you were kind of playing off of the experience of last time going against him. Okay.
That's correct, yeah. Because I would play it, and he would counter it, and then he'd have another body on the board to swing at my face.
Gotcha, okay. So that actually makes more sense now. It makes more sense.
Yeah. All right, so then from the 4-drop, we go to the 8-drop.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah. In all my test games before the tournament this weekend, I would, not all of them, but I was able to get this guy out a little bit more. My last games against the Tower deck and the Green Brawly, I didn't get him out at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been great against the Tower deck, but unfortunately it didn't happen.
Right.
So he's kind of like the 4-drop, but at the end of the battle, once you combo with him, you can pay 4, you draw 1 card, and then you get to bottom deck one of your opponent's cards. That's before he's even put into play.
Right.
So he's put into play in rest mode. Then he has an auto that states once per turn, when one of your opponent's battle cards attacks, you can switch one of their energy to rest mode and you untap one of your energy. So that combined with the amazing, let me find it. The amazing Unison, the 4-drop Boo.
Mm-hmm.
It makes attacking with the battle card a tough decision for the opponent.
Right. And very important to notice that if you want to win, you have to run 2 SPRs and 2 SRs. Because if you don't, if you mess up the ratios, it actually doesn't work as well.
Correct, and I hope this is triggering a lot of people because when they see the rest of the mismatches,
oh, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So with the 8-drops, obviously with that effect of being able to draw and bottom deck something before it comes into play. Did you play any like blue mirror matchups where they tried to God Sealing it, and you're just like, okay, I'm still gonna just bottom deck a card and draw?
At the moment, I don't recall playing
Oh wow.
another blue deck.
Interesting. Okay.
In the Hermit style tournament, I played the Tower deck, 2 Videls on the first day, and then on the second day I played Icarus and Tower deck, and then Green Brawly.
Gotcha. Okay. So how'd the Boo Unison work out for you? Did you feel like it was good at 4? Did you want to see it any less?
There was 1 or 2 games where I did not see this until like turn 5 and 6, and it feels bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My leader draws a lot. I have a lot of cards that draw, and when you don't see it after that many turns, you're wondering what's happening.
Yeah, it feels like it's like, okay, this is just really, really bad luck for me.
Yeah, I tried to filter a lot. So one of the ways I shout out to John Carlo in the Hermit Style Discord.
Mm-hmm.
In the weekend before, I played PPG tournament, webcam tournament. I made 22nd with my own deck list. He was rooting for me, so he helped me make some changes to the deck, and that's what I played with in the Hermit Style tournament. Mm-hmm. One of his suggestions was the 4-drop Infernal Villainy Cell.
Right. Yeah. So why did he? I mean, I can kind of assume why, but what was his reasoning for you to add this card to the deck?
So originally, I had 2 heroic prospects. Um, since I only run the 4-drop Boo, I was never playing or using the heroic prospects. So we decided to cut. Well, he just thought that would be a good idea to cut it out, and he suggested this. I like it. One, it's a pseudo combo, so 10k power, and when you combo with it, you get to draw a card. So it replaces itself, helps you filter through to get the pieces that you need. Helps you get out of those, like the Tawa attacks. They're 16ks. Some of those are crit. So 10k, he has to combo quite a bit to be able to beat that. I also think they make good pitch targets when you want to use his activate main for critical.
Okay.
In addition to that, if you pitch something else, 2 super combo or a 10k combo power with a crit is very strong.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely something that people are going to want to combo out of. You're at the waste super combo and whatever else, because taking a 30k crit to the face is not, in a blue deck, is not something you want to do, for sure.
No, it is not. So, continuing down with some of these other cards here. We have four of the Bojack Pinpoint Onslaught. This is going to start getting into the yellow part of the deck. For this Bojack, if you have a Bojack Brigade in your energy, you negate, or you reduce the combo cost by 1 and you negate its energy cost. So this is great to work with our rival Bojack big boy here.
Good old Violent Rush.
Yep.
Love this card.
This gives you a free multicolor combo to rival with. This also gives you your yellow energy to rival him as well. It makes these things work together, I think.
Yeah. And what's nice is I mean I do the same thing in Icarus. I have a lot less options though, but you can charge a blue Bojack, and then turn 2 charge a multicolor, and then you have your multicolor. So you actually get to play multicolor without having to stop one of your turns, your turn 1, from being able to do anything, right? Like that's very important in this deck, that you can do that. You charge blue, charge a blue yellow. Now you have a bunch of other options open, not including your rival stuff, which is good.
Yeah, it's great.
A weird question. Did you ever use the Activate Battle?
I did not. I thought about it, but I didn't have 2 blue or yellow cards in combo at once. I think that's what it says.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the most part, I didn't. And sometimes I just didn't want to pay that at the time.
Makes sense.
So going along with blue-yellow, I have 2 Zamasu Eliminators.
Ooh, baby.
And the only reason I have 2 is because I opened 2 packs and got them. And I have not been able to invest in 2 more. I don't know if I will. I'm going to wait a little bit. Maybe after coming in second, I can get them now, though.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, this card is, I mean, we all kind of know that this card is meta defining. It's I think the best part about this card is the ability to get around deflect, essentially, because the card can be played in counter window 1, and then you can auto and tap a card. So it comes up really often in some things, but I'm sure you use this quite a bit when you had it in your hand, no?
Yes, that's one issue, is that since I only have 2, I had to try to get the best use out of it, and sometimes I held on to too long, or I wouldn't play it in a good spot, or sometimes I threw it down too quickly. But I think that's just experience and learning.
Right, absolutely.
I also learned about counter window 2 a little bit more, that that's only when a card is played by a skill that opens up, correct?
Yeah.
So I learned that. That was important because of what you said, that you could still counterplay this and rest mode the card that's being played.
Yep, it makes it So there was a card before you played, probably. I'm sure you've seen it. Is Champa the Trickster.
Yes.
And that card was meta defining for what it was, being there was like two really good counterplay 2-drops, that and Vegeta the Cruel. And Champa was that card, being able to hit cards through barrier and tap them even though they had deflect. And then seeing this card doing the same kind of concept, but also being able to bounce back unisons is it's absolutely nuts. We're gonna have to get you 2 more of them somehow.
Yeah. So as a semi replacement for that, I was just looking through cards I had, and I came across this one.
Yeah, Matata.
Mutato's Skill of a Sage. So he's a counterplay. When your opponent plays a card that's greater than, or let me just verify.
Yep,
Your
greater than their
opponent's
energy.
turn, you may place this card in its owner's drop area. If you do, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than their energy. Ignoring barrier, switch it to rest mode. And that battle card can't be switched to active mode until the start of your next turn.
Yep.
So, I might not have 4 of the Zamasus, but I wanted to include one other thing for bigger threats, dual attackers, triple attackers, specifically the black cards come out for pretty cheap, and I just wanted to be able to have an answer for that.
Yeah, it's a good card though. It's a very good card. I use that in my side deck in Icarus, or have been, just because it's so devastating against those decks that have deflect boss monsters, or even barrier, truthfully.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't play it much in the games that were streamed, but I did use it once or twice, so I did feel it was helpful.
Good.
So another, I was trying to think of blue, yellow to also add in to help with Aegis. So as like Mutata, I was just looking through what I had, and I found these 2. Honestly, I did not play them much. Every time I did, they got blown up pretty quick or removed. So honestly, I'd probably take these 2 out.
Okay.
Maybe with the new U6 stuff coming out, they can see the light of day again, but I don't think I would keep them in this right now.
Gotcha. Would you have a replacement in mind as of right now that you would put in for the deck?
Not right the second. So I'm at 54, so removing 2 wouldn't be the worst.
Yeah, that actually wouldn't be too bad. Maybe help you see your Boo unison a little bit quicker.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so then we come up to our next guy, the new Goku Black. He just was released in the anniversary set. So
very
he's
good
pretty
card.
cool. Yes. So he has Energy Exhaust, Deflect, and Double Strike. At the end of your turn, switch up to one of your blue-yellow multicolor energy to active mode. In addition to that, when this card is played from your hand, play 4 shadow tokens, and they gain blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. So each token is 10k power, and it also has 5k combo power.
This card is absolutely nuts.
This card is great. There was a couple times on turn 4 where I did not see my Boo, and generally I'd have this instead, and I would play this one. It basically, I found out the hard way though about Dormant killing all the tokens. Someone did do that to me. So
Yep.
I thought the rule was that if something stated it targeted something with energy, it wouldn't hit a token, but it says up to, I think it's that one says up to or something.
Yeah. That card and Secret ID, Mass Saiyan, they can just choose the tokens, and since the tokens have 0 cost, it doesn't actually count as a card. So you can just wipe an entire board of tokens. It feels really bad. That's the one matchup where it's like into green, and this is obviously just more of an just playing thing. Like sometimes it's better to just play Goku Black and then just pass, and that way you're forcing them to swing through your 4 tokens, or play Secret ID. But that card comes in handy. Maybe that's a. Did you find that? Did you ever finish the game with that card, or was it more so just playing it for defensive purposes?
Most of the time, it was for both. It was I can be offensive with this, and I have blockers now too, so it's going to be harder to kill me. With my leader, I get down to 4 life very quick, so I like having the different options.
Right. Agreed. I can agree with that.
Alrighty, so let's go into, I guess, well, we'll do the, here we go. So another suggestion from Giancarlo was East Kai Keeping Watch. Pay 1, when she's played, you draw 1. And then she has an auto, which is not once per turn, which is great. During my turn, if the opponent plays a card, they have to work 2 cards, or they have to send 2 cards to the bottom of their deck. So this was definitely good against the Tower deck because of the negate and the counterplay both play cards.
Yep, it's a very good card. That card's been used in so many blue decks over the course of its release. But it definitely feels like in this format, especially with did you think so? Obviously the Toa deck. Was there any other matchups that you've seen that it worked in?
Icarus deck, I think it slowed him down just a slight bit. Because I mean, yeah, the hand size was huge, but still losing 2 cards isn't the best.
Yeah, it's definitely it hurts the deck. Someone who plays the deck, it's not very fun to play into East Kai. It's not fun to waste resources on killing East Kai. It's just it's a nuisance for sure.
Yep, I think so too. All right, so we'll get into a couple of the one-ofs real quick. First off, it's Champa.
No explanation needed, obviously.
Yeah, no. I think another one that doesn't need it is the Fu.
Yep, absolutely. Your second secret rare.
Yeah. And then my secret rare is Heroine's Lineage. That choice is because I do not have Baby Hatch. So I went with the one I have. And I think it does well. As people have stated that most players think that I would have Baby Hatch.
Absolutely.
So they play around the Baby Hatch, and then I can go ahead. They go all in on a card, and I can just take it. So it feels kind of bad, but it also feels kind of good.
I've been on both ends of this card, and it's I think you did it. I think in one of your stream games it happened. I believe in the Toa.
The thwarting.
Yeah, that was funny. Because I didn't know which secret rare you were running. I thought it was maybe like Paikuhan or something, and then you showed the Heroine's Lineage. I'm like, oh my gosh, just baited this guy so hard.
yeah, that it hurt, especially after the turn right before that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, the side deck options. So we'll get there in a minute, I guess.
Your many one-ofs, your toolbox of one-ofs.
All right, so now we're just going to get into the regular blue staples.
Okay.
Trigger warning. Vegeta.
Oh my gosh.
I have 3 of the Vegetas. They do not match. 2 of them do. And 1 Zeno. This was another suggestion, and I think it worked out well. In my previous version, I had 2 Zenos and 2 Zamasus. I think the Vegetas do better, especially when I'm digging for certain pieces that I would like in my hand. It feels better to me to try to get those pieces rather than trying to rest something, especially with my other options of bottom decking cards.
Right.
So then I have 3 God Sealing. I think that's all that's needed.
Yeah, you're playing a 4-drop unison. Like running 4 God Sealing is just not optional, really. In those type of decks, it's just not good.
I really don't think there's more. That's a terrible glare.
It's just so shiny, man.
All right, and then 4 Sensu Beans. There's no needed explanation there.
Yeah, you're playing blue. It just kind of goes with the deck.
And 4 Dimension Magics.
Yep, pretty standard there.
Yep. All right. Should I pull out the side deck real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. So as you're doing that, so the obviously the 1 Zeno split. Did you feel like it was good at 1? Like you were being able to get get something out of your energy, being able to, I mean, obviously play it and draw a card. Like, did you feel its usefulness, or was it just kind of there and you just kind of used it every now and then?
When I saw it, I used it for sure.
Okay.
But I was never relying on it either. I think the fact with Aegis and Galactic Buster, having only one of those was good enough for what I needed.
Okay. And I saw that there was no, outside of the Fu, there was no main deck Overrealm. Is that correct?
Correct. It's just Fu.
Okay. Any particular reason for that?
Not really. I felt that having another one wouldn't. I don't know. I just honestly didn't think about it too much, other than just putting in one Overrealm.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, obviously it worked for you, but I figured I would ask because, you know, most people would be trying to run like a Fighting Against Fates or Secret ID or something. So I figured it was probably just to save up your Overrealm for Fu.
That was the main reason, because I saw it cost, or it Overrealm was a lot. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I originally had Man on a Mission in my first deck draft of it, and I was like, I'm going to be getting to turn 4, 5, 6 easily. I'd rather have Fu to finish it.
Absolutely, I agree.
Alrighty, so let's get into the toolboxes.
Oh man, this is what everyone's been waiting for.
Alrighty, so first up I have Final... I'm just going to lay them all out and then we'll go through them.
Okay.
So first up, Final Hope Slash. We have 1, Hunt of the Demon God. 2, Clash of the Masked Warriors.
Okay.
A Barrier of Hope. Hit Rapid Movement. Frost Deadly Poison. I do have a second Overrealm here.
There we go.
Identity.
Okay.
We have a Kami. We have Protector of the People. Gohan and Piccolo.
There's so many one-ups.
An Unexpected Turn. Intoxicated by Justice. And then 2 of Bardock the Eliminator.
Someone's gonna get tilted by seeing all these one-ups. This is awesome.
So I'll go over a couple things. So 1, I'm still very new to the game.
Yep.
I started at the pre-release of Supreme Rivalry. So what's that? March, April, or May, somewhere around there.
Yep.
I did 2 PPG webcams. The first one I did, I lost every game. It wasn't good, but I learned a lot. And the last one I did was a weekend or 2 ago, and I made 22nd with a version of this Krillin deck. So I feel I've learned a lot and come a long way.
Absolutely.
One thing I do not know how to do, though, is build a sideboard. I've been trying to learn. A lot of this is based on stuff that I put together a long time ago, where I was like, I read some stuff that you might want in your sideboards, and those were like Protector of the People, An Unexpected Turn, Kami, Secret ID. Then I was asking for advice, and someone mentioned barrier removal, and I had 1 Barrier of Hope. Same with Final Hope Slash. Bardock's the Eliminators, I should have put in the Saiyan Instincts, where you draw 2 instead. I do have 3 of those. I was thinking originally that I might not want to pay 2 for it, so that's why I put this in here. I put this together the night before the weekend tournament, so I didn't get to test anything. The Intoxicated by Justice was just in case going against Black, getting rid of those the cards that make you warp cards from your hand when you activate counters and stuff.
Yep. Providing Spirit, yeah.
Yep. Frost Deadly Poison. I originally had him in my main deck as an option, and then I realized that I'm probably not going to play it, and it would be good to keep in the side deck instead. So I just kept it there. Yeah,
it's really there as a you're not going to kill me with Fu, I'm going to kill you on Fu on next turn kind of card. Okay. Like that's the point of that card, is because it hits Fu before it comes down. So obviously it works on a lot of other cards too, but that's mainly why people played it when it was popular, is because it was like one of the first cards outside of Cold Bloodlust that could hit Fu. So it's good. It's good in the side deck for sure. Definitely in the side deck.
Hit rapid move it. I put him in there because I was worried that I didn't have enough blue yellows and that I could be running into problems with that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a blue yellow in your energy, pretty sure that's what it says.
Yep, he becomes he's basically like the Bojack.
Yes,
sense,
and
yeah.
I thought maybe I might need that. So I did not use it. I did not side it in at all.
Mm-hmm.
The main things I sided in were Unexpected Turn, Gohan, Protector of the People. I tried to use these against Green Brawly. I think the biggest problem versus Green Brawly is I did not know any of the cards, and he was explaining things to me, and then I would forget what they did a minute later because it was just bad. So yeah, the Hunt of the Demon God is a counter. I thought maybe that would be useful if I'm going on the offensive a little bit more, and they're trying to counter my finishers.
Yep, it's really good into green, since it hits free play extra cards. So when they play dormant, you just tap one, use that card, and then it stops their dormant, and now they wasted a dormant. So it's pretty good.
Clash of the Masked Warriors is to take care of unison threats.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't side him in because most of the time when I was sided in, I just forget some stuff. So it's more learning.
Yep, it happens. I mean, even though you have all these one-ofs, like, and you can joke around about having the one-ofs, like, from the games that we saw, it seemed like you saw the cards exactly when you needed them. Like, the Gohan Piccolo came in super clutch. The Protector of the People came in super clutch. Obviously, the Unexpected Turn play was incredible.
That's right.
So like, yeah.
Yeah, this did the most work, I think, in that game. It was what, turn 5 or 6?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, he had the 3 Vegetas out and tried to play Kai, and I counterplayed it and removed all of his cards. I made major misplay by not removing my Kai, and after watching it again, I realized that.
Yeah, it happens. Like I said, you said you're being so new to the game. There's a lot of things you got to learn about, like sequencing and like this particular, like making sure you know what the cards do. So it happens, especially second online tournament. So it's hard. It's just like, just learning experience. But I mean, your side deck though, even though it's a bunch of one-ofs, you have a lot of cards that you would run in a side deck. Like most of these cards somebody would run in their side deck at some point. I think you may have helped the Unexpected Turn. People are going to start adding that more into their deck now, if they weren't already. But no, I think I think it was good. I think obviously we can help you out with the side deck a little bit too. But what do you think? From your matchups, like what do you think? Just if there's anything off the top of your head that you think you would change, maybe in the main deck or the side deck, just going forward.
I definitely want to take out those Hit and Gokus. And once they're gone, I'm going to have even less blue-yellow. So I need to think about that. What are good options there? Because I'm afraid of not having enough cards to Aegis with, and then that the 8 or the 7-drop Bojack is kind of just sitting there. I mean, it's a 20k barrier card, but
yeah. We'll figure it out. Well, what were you, outside of the Toa and Green Broly matchup, what else did you say that your matchups were?
So Saturday I went against the Toa deck and he 2-0'd me. It scarred me a little bit. And then I went against 2 Green Videls actually, and I felt I was in control of both of those games. With Sensu Bean and just being able to bottom deck things, it seemed like they had to do a lot more to do damage to me.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, did you have any shout-outs, anything you want to say to anyone who was watching you, all of your Krillin fans out there?
The little man is doing good. Yeah. yeah, thanks to the Hermit Style. Thank you, Chris. Local Symphony Games. It's I think that's a big group of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of us. A lot of us.
Yeah, you guys have all helped me a lot, and I really appreciate that. And you also sent me the spirit energy.
Yeah, we were going crazy in the Discord every time he did something, whether it's he was showing his hand on accident or
Yeah,
playing Unbreak turn.
I've moved my camera now, so it's a lot harder to see my hand.
That's good. That's good. It's a good first thing.
Yeah, I did not realize that. So, that was funny. Yeah, it's been crazy. I did not expect to do well. I think I just automatically assumed that I'm going to lose to people who've been playing longer than me. So.
Yeah, that's one thing in this game, man. It's all about who's better at that particular time, and obviously being a card game RNG. So I mean, you had the Krillin god on your side, obviously.
Yep. Yeah, it's been fun. It was great. And then, like I said, I was in the PPG tournament before that, and I went 5-2 with a slightly different version, but I'm playing the little man. I think my goal in playing is to play leaders or things that I find interesting more so than the competitive aspect. I like to win, of course, but I'm gonna play Krillin because he's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well that'll do it here for the video, guys. I will leave a link down below for Jacob, so you guys can go send him all the memes and all the great Krillin content you guys have. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.